James Walker stood at his window, staring at the orange sky of sunset. Something was wrong with the colors. After 20 years of studying Earth's flora and fauna as a xenobiologist, he had developed a keen eye for details others might miss. The sunset shouldn't look this perfect. His laptop beeped with another weather alert. Third one this week. Global temperatures had dropped by 0.3 degrees worldwide. Not much, but enough to make him worried. He took a sip of his coffee, grimacing at the cold liquid. Being a former Marine had taught him to notice patterns, and these patterns spelled trouble. Walking to his small home lab, James checked his latest atmospheric readings. The numbers didn't make sense. Oxygen levels were dropping, but so slowly that most people hadn't noticed yet. Plants worldwide were producing less oxygen than they should, even though they looked healthier than ever. "What are you trying to tell me?" he muttered, adjusting his microscope. The soil samples he collected showed something strange, tiny, almost invisible structures that shouldn't be there. At first, he thought they were some new form of bacteria. Now he wasn't so sure. His phone rang, making him jump. "Walker here," he answered, still staring at his readings. "Dr. Walker, this is Director Thompson from the Global Science Center. We need you to come in. Now." The urgency in Thompson's voice made James sit up straight. "What's wrong?" "Not over the phone, but bring your recent atmospheric data." An hour later, James stood in a room with 5 other scientists, all looking at a giant screen showing Earth's atmospheric changes over the past 6 months. The pattern was clear now. Someone or something was changing their planet's air. "It's not natural," Dr. Thompson said, pointing at the screen. "These changes are too perfect, too controlled. We're being terraformed." "Terraformed?" another scientist asked. "By whom?" As if answering their question, every screen in the room suddenly went dark. When they came back on, they showed a message in glowing blue letters. "Your world will be improved. Resist and phase extinction." James felt a chill run down his spine. After years of wondering if aliens existed, they had their answer. But this wasn't the friendly first contact everyone had hoped for. "They're already here," James said, pulling up his data. "Look at these soil samples. These aren't bacteria. They're machines. Tiny machines changing our planet's atmosphere bit by bit." Dr. Thompson nodded grimly. "We've detected them in the air too. They're everywhere, working together like a giant filter, slowly changing our atmosphere to something else." "But why?" a young researcher asked. "Why not just attack us directly?" James looked at his soil readings again. "Because they're not trying to kill us. They think they're helping. These changes they're making the air cleaner, removing pollutants, adjusting the temperature to perfect levels. They're trying to make Earth better." "Better for whom?" Thompson asked. "Not for us," James replied. "These changes, if they continue, the air will become too thin for humans to breathe. Too pure. We need those impurities they're removing. Without them, we'll die." The room fell silent as the truth sank in. Humanity faced a threat unlike anything they'd prepared for, an enemy that would kill them with kindness, thinking they were helping. James stared at the blue message still glowing on the screen. His military training kicked in, analyzing the threat. The enemy had already invaded. They had superior technology. They could control Earth's atmosphere, but they had made one crucial mistake. They didn't understand humans. Humans had evolved on a harsh, imperfect world. Those imperfections had made them strong, adaptable, resilient. And now, those same traits might be their only hope for survival. "Director," James said, his voice firm, "we need to fight back. Not with weapons. They're probably ready for that. We need to fight back with science. We need to prove that Earth isn't broken. It's exactly what we need it to be." The message on the screen flickered, adding new words. "Improvement begins in 24 hours. Prepare for a better world. James clenched his fists. The battle for Earth's future had begun, and humanity's greatest weakness, their need for an imperfect world, might turn out to be their greatest strength. James didn't expect his day to include meeting aliens, yet here he was, standing in an underground bunker beneath the Global Science Center, facing two beings that looked nothing like the movies had promised. The aliens were tall and slim, with pale blue skin that seemed to glow slightly. They moved with careful, precise steps, as if afraid of breaking something. Their large eyes blinked slowly as they studied the humans in the room. "Your world," the taller alien said through a translator device, "is classified as a Class 12 Deathworld. We did not believe intelligent life could evolve here." James looked at Dr. Thompson, who seemed just as confused. "A Deathworld? What does that mean?" The second alien stepped forward, moving like a dancer. "Your Earth is wrong. The air is thick with pollutants. The gravity is crushing. The temperature swings between extremes. The wildlife is aggressive. The plants are toxic. Yet you live here. Wrong." James felt anger rising in his chest. "This is our home." "And that," the first alien said, "is why we are here. We are not with the pristine, the ones trying to fix your world. We are scientists who believe they are making a terrible mistake." Dr. Thompson cleared his throat. "You're saying Earth is considered dangerous by alien standards?" "Dangerous?" The alien made a sound like quiet laughter. "Your oceans are filled with acid. Your air burns. Your bodies contain metals that would kill most species. You eat poison for pleasure and call it spice. You run until your prey falls from exhaustion. You heal from injuries that would end most life forms. You are—" It paused, searching for the right word. "Impossible." James thought about his morning coffee, his spicy lunch, the heavy weights he lifted at the gym. All normal things to him, but apparently terrifying to these advanced aliens. "The pristine," the second alien explained, "cannot understand how you survive here. They believe you must be suffering. Their solution is to make Earth safe, by their standards." "But that would kill us," James said. "Yes, they do not understand that what they consider safe would destroy you. They think they are helping." A screen on the wall lit up, showing Earth's atmospheric changes. The alien pointed to the data. "Your world has qualities that make you strong. The pristine want to remove these qualities. They will make the air pure, remove all toxins, stabilize the temperature, and reduce gravity stress. Paradise by their standards," Dr. Thompson muttered. "Death by ours," James added. The first alien nodded. "We need your help. The pristine's machines are already changing your world, but you humans have something we never expected. You can survive conditions that would kill their technology." James remembered his military training, the long marches, the harsh conditions. Humans could adapt to almost anything. Maybe that was their advantage. "You're saying we're too tough for their machines?" he asked. "Your bodies process toxins that destroy their nanobots. You survive radiation levels that disable their systems. You function in temperatures that freeze or melt their technology." The alien's eyes seemed to shine with excitement. "You are the perfect weapon against them, but you need to act fast." Dr. Thompson looked at the atmospheric data again. "How long do we have?" "At the current rate of change, your atmosphere will become unbreathable for humans in 3 months. The pristine believe you will evolve to survive the changes." The alien's voice became sad. "They do not understand that even humans cannot evolve that quickly." James stood up straighter. "Then we fight back. Not with spaceships or laser guns, but with what makes us different. With what makes Earth a death world." The aliens looked at each other, then back at James. "That is why we chose you, James Walker. Your military background combined with your scientific knowledge makes you unique. You understand both survival and science." "What's the plan?" James asked. We need to show the pristine that Earth's harshness is not a mistake to be fixed. It is a strength to be protected. The alien held out a hand. Will you help us? James took a deep breath of Earth's imperfect, wonderful air. When do we start? The test chamber looked like something from a sci-fi movie. James stood inside, wearing only shorts and sensors attached to his body. Through the thick glass, he could see the alien scientists and Dr. Thompson watching him. Begin the first test, the alien scientist, who called himself Blue, announced. The chamber's temperature dropped rapidly. James's breath came out in white clouds. Most people would be shivering badly by now, but his military training kicked in. He controlled his breathing, letting his body adapt. Remarkable, Blue said, checking the readings. Temperature is now at -10 degrees Celsius, yet your body is maintaining its functions. James smiled despite the cold. Humans can survive much worse with proper training. They ran more tests. Heat that would melt plastic, air pressure changes that would knock out most creatures, even radiation levels that should have made him sick. James handled them all. I don't understand, the second alien scientist, called Green, said. Your body should be failing. Instead, it's getting stronger. Dr. Thompson grinned. That's what humans do. We adapt. We get stronger under pressure. The next test was different. They'd brought in one of the Pristine's cleaning machines, a silver ball about the size of a tennis ball. It floated in the air, giving off a soft hum. These machines can't handle Earth's natural conditions, Blue explained. Watch what happens when we expose it to what you just went through. The temperature dropped. The machine's hum became irregular. When they added the pressure changes, it started sparking. By the time they introduced the radiation, it had stopped working completely. Their technology is too perfect, Green said. It can't handle the stress that you humans live with every day. James looked at the broken machine. So that's our advantage. We're messy, imperfect, but that makes us stronger. Dr. Thompson brought up a map on the main screen. Red dots showed where the Pristine's terraforming machines were most active. They're concentrating on major cities first, trying to make the air cleaner where most humans live. Then that's where we fight back, James said, not by destroying their machines, but by making Earth even more of a death world. The aliens looked worried. You want to make your world more dangerous. Temporarily, James explained. We use their own plan against them. They want to make Earth perfect. Let's show them what happens when they push a death world too far. He walked to the screen, pointing at specific locations. We can use their own technology to increase volcanic activity here and here. That puts more impurities in the air, the kind their machines can't handle. We trigger controlled earthquakes to release more gases from underground. We enhance storm systems to spread Earth's natural particles through the atmosphere. That's crazy, Dr. Thompson said, then smiled. But crazy might be exactly what we need. Blue studied the plan. The Pristine would never expect this. They cannot imagine a species making their world more hostile on purpose. Because they don't understand humans, James said. We grew up on a world that tries to kill us every day. Hurricanes, volcanoes, earthquakes, predators. Earth throws everything at us, and we survive. We thrive. Green ran some calculations. The plan could work, but it would make Earth even harsher for a while. Are humans ready for that? James thought about his childhood, growing up on a farm, about facing storms and droughts, about how humans always came together strongest when things were toughest. We're ready, he said. This is our home. Its harshness made us who we are, and we're going to show the Pristine exactly what that means. Dr. Thompson nodded. I'll contact world leaders. We'll need everyone working together on this, and I'll start training others. James added, we need more humans who can handle extreme conditions, who can show the Pristine what Deathworlders can really do. As they left the test chamber, James looked at the broken Pristine machine. Soon, Earth would become even more of a death world. But that wasn't a weakness. It was their greatest strength. The pristine were about to learn why humans were the only species to not just survive, but thrive on a world that never stopped trying to kill them. The world was changing faster than anyone expected. James stood on the roof of the Global Science Center, watching people hurry by wearing oxygen masks. In just 2 weeks, the pristine's machines had made the air so pure that regular humans were starting to struggle breathing it. Walker, Dr. Thompson burst through the roof door. "We've got trouble. Big trouble." Inside the control room, screens showed chaos around the world. Cities were reporting massive power failures. Cars wouldn't start. Even simple machines were breaking down. "The air's too clean," Blue explained, his alien features tight with worry. "Your technology needs some pollution to work properly. The carbon particles, the metals in the air, they're all part of how your machines function." "Like trying to run an engine without oil," James muttered. He looked at the global air quality readings. They were terrifyingly perfect. Green pointed to new data coming in. "The pristine have started phase 2. They're not just cleaning the air now. They're reducing gravity in populated areas." "Reducing gravity?" James asked. "They think Earth's gravity is too harsh for your bodies," Blue said. "They don't understand that your bones and muscles need that pressure to stay strong." As if to prove the point, emergency calls started flooding in. People were reporting dizziness and weakness. In areas where the pristine's influence was strongest, hospitals were filling with cases of rapid bone loss and muscle deterioration. "This is what they meant by improving our world," Dr. Thompson said bitterly. "They're killing us with kindness." James slammed his fist on the table. "How long until our plan is ready?" "The volcanic triggers are in place," Dr. Thompson replied. "But we need at least another day to set up the atmospheric disturbance generators." "We don't have a day." James pointed to the readings. "Look at the oxygen levels. At this rate, most cities will be unlivable in hours, not days." A new alarm blared. On the main screen, they watched in horror as the pristine's machines started appearing everywhere. No longer hiding, they filled the sky like silver rain. "They're accelerating the process," Blue said, his voice shaking. "They must think the problems humans are having are because the changes are too slow. They're trying to help by making it happen faster." James watched the numbers getting worse by the minute. People were collapsing in the streets now. The air was so pure it was like poison to human lungs. The reduced gravity was making people's hearts work too hard. Then he noticed something. In areas with heavy industry, where pollution still fought against the pristine's cleaning, people were doing better. The old, dirty factories were accidentally protecting humans. "We need to buy time," he said suddenly. "Dr. Thompson, order all industrial centers to run at full power. Tell them to burn whatever they can safely burn. We need to dirty up the air right now." "But the pristine's machines will just clean it," Green protested. "Yes, but it will slow them down. Their machines have to work harder in polluted areas. We saw that in our tests." James turned to the aliens. "Blue, Green, can you get me to their main control ship?" They looked shocked. "It's in orbit," Blue said, "and it's heavily protected." "But you have a ship, right? One that can reach it?" Green nodded slowly. "Yes, but, James, the radiation in space would kill most species." James smiled grimly. "Good thing I'm from a death world then. Space radiation is just another day for us humans." He turned to Dr. Thompson. "Start the volcano sequence. All of them. Now, we're out of time for being careful. That'll make half the planet nearly uninhabitable," Thompson warned. "Better than the whole planet being perfectly uninhabitable," James replied. He looked at Blue and Green. "Let's go. We've got a ship to board." As they rushed to the alien ship, James saw people helping each other put on oxygen masks. Even now, humans were adapting, working together, refusing to give up. The pristine thought they were fixing humanity's harsh world, but they were about to learn why humans needed that harshness. Sometimes, the only way to save something was to break it first. Earth was about to become more of a death world than ever before. Space was exactly as James remembered from his military training videos. Vast, dark, and deadly. The alien ship hummed softly as Blue piloted it toward the massive pristine command vessel. Their ship's atmosphere is perfect. Green warned, checking readings. No toxins, no radiation, no impurities. Like being inside a clean room. Perfect for them, James said, checking his oxygen tank. A nightmare for me. But that's the point. The plan was simple but dangerous. While Dr. Thompson triggered Earth's volcanoes to fight back against the terraforming, James would confront the pristine leaders. Not with weapons, but with proof that their help was actually harm. Warning, the ship's computer announced. Pristine vessel detecting approach. A voice came through their communication system, speaking in a tone so pure it almost hurt James's ears. Unauthorized vessel. You are entering a restricted zone. Turn back or face removal. Blue looked at James. Ready? James nodded, putting on his mask. Let's show them what a Deathworlder can do. Instead of turning back, Blue accelerated. The pristine ship grew larger in their view. A massive white structure that looked like a perfect crystal. They're activating defense systems, Green reported. Good, James said. Let them waste energy trying to clean us up. The pristine ship fired. Not weapons, but cleansing beams meant to sterilize their approach. James watched as the perfect white energy surrounded their small ship. Hull contamination dropping, Blue reported. They're trying to purify us. How long until they succeed? James asked. About 3 minutes at this rate. James grinned behind his mask. We only need 2. Their ship rocketed through the sterilizing beam. The hull creaked as the pristine tried to make it perfect, tried to remove every flaw and impurity. But those imperfections were what made it strong. Impact in 30 seconds. Green shouted. The pristine's voice came again. Stop. You will contaminate the pure environment. That's the idea, James muttered. Their ship crashed through the pristine vessel's outer hull, bringing Earth's wonderful, dirty, imperfect atmosphere with it. Alarms blared as James's team rushed out into the pristine white corridors. The effect was immediate. The pristine, tall figures of pure white light recoiled from the contamination James brought with him. Their perfect environment was being polluted by simple human breath. Stop. A pristine leader appeared, its form flickering with distress. You are damaging perfection. James stepped forward, deliberately exhaling through his mask, watching the carbon dioxide make the pristine air swirl with impurities. I'm reminding you what real life looks like, he said. Earth isn't meant to be perfect. Neither are humans. We are saving you, the pristine insisted. Your world is poison. Our world is strong. James pulled off his mask, breathing the now mixed air. The pristine watched in horror as he survived their perfect atmosphere. Look at me. I'm breathing your pure air, and yes, it hurts. But I'm adapting. That's what humans do. His communicator crackled. Dr. Thompson's voice came through. Volcanoes activated. Earth's atmosphere is getting real dirty, real fast. The pristine leader wavered as new data reached them. On screens around the room, they could see Earth changing. Volcanoes spewing ash and gas. Storms spreading particles worldwide. The planet fighting back against forced perfection. Impossible, the pristine whispered. The containment is failing. The purification is being reversed. Because Earth isn't sick, James said, stepping closer to the pristine leader. It's not broken. All those things you call imperfections. They're features, not bugs. They made us strong. They made us survivors. The pristine's form flickered more violently as Earth's contamination spread through their ship. Their perfect systems couldn't handle the complexity, the chaos, the wonderful mess that humans called home. You have a choice, James continued. Leave Earth alone. Let it be the death world that created us, or stay and watch your perfect systems fail against our imperfect strength. The pristine leader looked at Earth's readings once more. Their terraforming machines were failing everywhere, overwhelmed by the planet's renewed harshness. The choice was clear. Perhaps, the pristine leader said slowly, perfection is not as perfect as we believed. James watched as the pristine gave the order to retreat. Sometimes, the best way to win a fight was to show your enemy why they shouldn't want to fight at all. The return to Earth wasn't a victory lap. Looking through the ship's window, James could see their planet wrapped in dark clouds from the activated volcanoes. Lightning flashed constantly through the ash-filled sky. "Are you sure about this next part?" Blue asked, his alien features showing clear worry. "Making Earth even harsher than before. It seems extreme." James nodded, watching another volcano erupt in the distance. The pristine might have retreated, but their machines are still here. "We need to make sure they can never try this again." Dr. Thompson's voice came through their communications. "All major volcanic chains are active now. Global temperature has risen 2 degrees. Atmospheric pollution is at record levels." "Good," James replied. "Now for Phase 2. Their ship landed at the Global Science Center, where teams of scientists were working with the alien technology Blue and Green had shared. They were building something that would change Earth forever. "The atmospheric enhancement network is ready," Dr. Thompson reported as they rushed into the control room. "Once activated, it will increase Earth's natural extreme conditions by 30%. James looked at the screens showing their planet's condition. The pristine's cleaning machines were already failing, unable to handle the increased volcanic activity. But it wasn't enough. "Their machines are adaptive," Green warned. "They're already trying to adjust to the new conditions. We need to push harder." James walked to the main control panel. "Then let's show them what a real Deathworld looks like." He pressed his hand against the scanner, and the enhancement network activated. Around the globe, thousands of devices began altering Earth's natural systems. Lightning storms grew more intense. The planet's magnetic field strengthened, increasing radiation in the upper atmosphere. Gravity fluctuated in patterns that only Earth life had evolved to handle. "Pristine machines failing at 40% of sites," Dr. Thompson reported, watching the data flow in. 60%, 75%. On the screens, they could see the silver swarms of pristine technology dropping from the sky, overwhelmed by conditions they were never designed to handle. But the cost was visible too. Cities were dark, protected by massive shields designed by Blue and Green's people. Humans had retreated into shelters, waiting out the artificial increase in Earth's harshness. "Look at these readings," Blue said, pointing to new data. "Your planet's defensive systems are increasing on their own now. The enhancement network isn't just making Earth harsher, it's teaching the planet to maintain these conditions naturally." James smiled. "Earth is learning, adapting, just like we do." A warning alarm blared. Dr. Thompson rushed to check the readings. "We've got a problem. The magnetic field increase is causing unexpected reactions in the core. If we don't stop now." "We can't stop," James said firmly. "Not until every last pristine machine is gone. Earth needs to be too harsh for them to ever try this again." Green studied the data. "The changes, they're becoming permanent. Even after we turn off the network, Earth will stay more extreme than before." "Good," James replied. "That's exactly what we need." They watched as the last pristine machines fell from the sky, defeated by a world that refused to be perfect. But Earth wasn't finished changing. "New data coming in," Dr. Thompson announced. "Life forms around the planet are already starting to adapt to the harsher conditions. Plants are growing stronger. Animals are developing new resistances." "And humans?" Blue asked. James looked at the medical readings. "We're adapting fastest of all. The next generation will be even stronger, better suited to this harsher Earth." The enhancement network finally shut down, its work complete. Earth had been transformed. Not into the perfect world the pristine wanted, but into something even more intense than before. "Send a message to all shelters," James ordered. "Tell them it's done. Tell them Tell them we're coming home to a stronger Earth. As the message went out, James watched the clouds swirl above their building. They had gambled everything on humanity's ability to adapt, to thrive in harsh conditions. Now they would prove that being from a death world wasn't just about surviving. It was about getting stronger with every challenge. The pristine had tried to make Earth perfect. Instead, they had made humanity even more remarkable. 1 year had passed since Earth became even more of a death world. James stood at the same window where he'd first noticed the strange sunset, but now he watched a very different sky. Lightning danced between purple clouds, and the air shimmered with a strength that would have killed the pristine's machines instantly. The latest reports are in, Dr. Thompson said, walking into the office. You're going to want to see this. In the control room, screens showed data from around the world. But these weren't disaster reports anymore. They were evolution reports. Look at this, Dr. Thompson pointed to a chart. Human bone density has increased 15% globally. Muscle efficiency is up 20%. And children born this year are showing even stronger adaptations. Blue and Green, who had chosen to stay on Earth as ambassadors, studied the data with amazement. Your species continues to surprise us, Blue said. Most life forms would have struggled with such harsh changes. Humans are thriving. He was right. The harsher Earth had made humanity stronger. People could now handle radiation levels that would have been dangerous before. Their bodies processed toxins more efficiently. Even the stronger gravity had made everyone more resilient. The Galactic Council sent their official decision. Green announced, holding up a datapad. Earth has been reclassified. It's now a Class 15 death world, the highest classification ever recorded. James smiled. And Green continued, they've declared it a protected planet. No species is allowed to attempt terraforming or improvement of Earth ever again. Your world is officially recognized as perfect exactly as it is. On the screens, they could see the results of their gambit. Cities had adapted, with new architecture designed to handle the stronger storms. Plants had evolved thicker stems and deeper roots. Animals had grown more resilient. We've received requests from 17 different alien species. Dr. Thompson added, they want to study how we did it, how we made our world harsher and survived. Tell them they're welcome to visit, James said, as long as they bring really good environmental suits. The room chuckled. Even the air inside buildings was now too harsh for most alien species. A new alert popped up on the main screen. From orbit, their satellites had detected something. A pristine ship watching from a safe distance. They've been observing us for 3 months, Blue explained, studying how we survived, how we turned their attempt to perfect us into something that made us stronger. James watched the ship's perfect crystalline form, so different from the rough, tough vessels humans now built to handle Earth's powerful magnetic fields. Send them a message, he said. Dr. Thompson typed as James spoke. Dear pristine friends, thank you for trying to help us. Your attempt to make our world perfect taught us something important. Perfection is the enemy of strength. We chose to be imperfect, difficult, and harsh because that's what makes us who we are. You're welcome to visit, but remember, on Earth, only the tough survive, and we wouldn't have it any other way. The pristine ship sent back a simple response. We understand now. Your imperfection is your perfection. As the ship departed, James looked at the new Earth they had created. Storm clouds rolled across the sky, carrying life-giving rain mixed with traces of elements that would have killed most alien life forms. Lightning split the air, charging the environment with energy that humans had learned to thrive on. You know what the best part is, Dr. Thompson said, looking at the latest adaptation reports. We're still evolving, still getting stronger. Every generation will be better suited to handle whatever the universe throws at us. Blue and Green shared a look. Perhaps, Blue said, that was the real lesson here. It's not about surviving in spite of harsh conditions. It's about becoming stronger because of them. James nodded, watching a new storm approach. Earth was now the harshest of all death worlds, and humanity was its proudest child. They hadn't just survived. They had chosen to make their world even more challenging, knowing it would forge them into something even more remarkable. "Send a message to all human colonies," James said. "Tell them, welcome to the new Earth, the harshest world in the galaxy, the perfect home for humanity." After all, being from a death world wasn't a curse. It was humanity's greatest gift to itself.